Before we get started, I would like to give a big shout out to Coaster Thrills for letting me use his footage in this video. In 1996, Cedar Point installed Mantis, a stand-up coaster by B&M. It opened as the tallest, longest, and fastest stand-up coaster in the world. At the time, it was a pretty good ride. However, in 2015, due to low popularity because it's a stand-up coaster, Cedar Point announced that they would convert it from a stand-up to a floorless coaster. It has a much higher reception now, but I don't really enjoy it that much. Today on Zach Coaster Crazy, I will talk about my thoughts on Rougarou. Before we get into the ride experience, let's get into the stats of the ride, which aren't too bad. It's 145 feet tall, has an 137-foot drop, is 3,900 feet long, and goes 60 miles an hour. It also has 4 inversions and an angle of descent of 52 degrees. These stats are not bad at all. In fact, they're really good. Rougarou compares to some of the main rides at the park in terms of stats. However, stats don't really make a ride good, and that definitely shows with the Rougarou. Please note, I only got one ride on this, and that was a few years ago. But it was that bad, so I got a bit of a grudge on this. But take what I say with a grain of salt. The first part is fine, and it's kind of fun, in fact. The first drop and a vertical loop are pretty great. However, things go pretty bad during the dive loop. You start to get a ton of headbanging on it, and while most rides only have headbanging in short spurts, this ride has that classic B&M rattle, so it continues throughout the ride. This kills the ride experience for me. And typically I enjoy rough rides, but this is really painful. Cedar Point can do a nice reprofiling. This ride would be great. It has a really intense layout, which is also pretty nice. It also looks like a pretty coaster, so it is pretty fun to watch. Gets shorter lines, so I'm not the only one who thinks it. Reprofiling could make the ride have a higher ridership. Overall, I would give this ride a 4 out of 10. It has a fun layout, and it is a beautiful ride, but it's also pretty intense, which are all good factors. However, it has a really low fun factor, which is the most important part. Some improvements could be new trains, a retrack, or a reprofile. Those would all go a long way. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Zach Coaster Crazy. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!